Bang me manasi pratisthita, manu me vache pratishthitam, abir birma yedi, veda samanistam, Shrutang me ma prasiranena ditena, oratram samdadami, ritam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami, tanmam avatu, tad bhaktaram avatu, avatu mam, avatu bhaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May my speech be one with my mind, and may my mind be one with my speech. O thou self-luminous Brahman, remove the veil of ignorance from before me, that I may behold thy light. Do thou reveal to me the speech of the scriptures. May the truth of the scriptures be ever present to me. May I seek day and night to realize what I learned from the sages. May I speak the truth of Brahman. May I speak the truth. May it protect me. May it protect my teacher. Om, peace, peace, peace be and for. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 59. As you know, it is a series of lectures on the Bhagavad Gita. We are now studying Dhyana Yoga, 6th chapter, the way of meditation. I remember in 1970s when transcendental meditation, Hatha Yoga, swept the Western world, Europe, America. There was a great excitement. And people practiced this meditation and yoga. But the Vatican cautioned the Christian people, don't be swept away by this Eastern meditation. Please stick to your path, pray, have contemplative life. Father Thomas Keating of Colorado started an organization named Contemplative Outreach. There is a group in St. Louis also. I talked to them several times. It is an organization under the umbrella of the Catholic Church. Contemplation. Swami Chetanananda differentiated very nicely the difference between contemplation and meditation. What is the difference? He explained contemplation means a bee making a buzzing sound before sitting on a flower. It is, you have seen how the bees move. The wings move very fast before they sit on a flower. That is contemplation. And meditation means the bee sat on the flower and began to sip honey. Very nicely he differentiated between contemplation and meditation. Father Raymond Panikkar, who was our friend, he said that he wrote an article on this topic about meditation and the position of the Catholic Church. And he argued with the cardinals about it in Rome. You see, if you meditate on Christ, you will be a better Christian and you will get a better understanding about Christ, about Hatha Yoga. It is a wonderful exercise to keep the body, mind fit. It is exercise on the muscles, body, bone, prana, mind. Although it was originated in India, that doesn't mean it is a Hindu thing and it will, hot yoga will convert people. It is not like that. I sometimes make that joke that insulin was invented by a Jewish scientist. Those who have diabetes, those who take insulin, they are not Jewish. It is a science. Anybody has right to take insulin or practice yoga. In this 21st century, religion will not be confined by doctrine or dogma. The internet and the Google search engine broke all barriers. The whole world, religion, science, philosophy, whatever you can think of, everything you will find in iPad and iPod and iPhone. It is true. Last night I was reading the life of Steve Jobs. My goodness, he is an amazing person. His father was a Syrian Muslim, married he was as soon, and the wife was Christian. And as soon as they're born, adopted, he was raised by the adopted parents. Went to school, dropped out. However, finished school in Portland, Oregon. Took 1 year college, could not afford to pay, dropped out. Used to walk 5-6 miles to a Hare Krishna people to get a good meal once a week. Went to India, lived in an ashram for some time, came back, practicing Zen meditation. I was reading his life story and trying to find out about these electronic things in a garage. And then Apple took over. He became a CEO of Apple. And he used to take salary only $1 a month. And when he died, do you know what he was worth? $8.5 billion. One of the 110 richest men in the world. He died last, I think, October or November from cancer, pancreas cancer. What did he do? All these inventions came from meditation. Some people say that why should I meditate? We sometimes say that you see, you are not to go to. Some people think if I go once a week to the temple or church, that is enough. Uncle, it is not enough. We suggest, I know some monks meditate 4 times a day. Morning, before lunch, in the evening, and before goes to sleep. 4 times a day. Sri Ramakrishna said, his guru told him, you must meditate daily. Otherwise, it is a brass pot. If you do not clean every day, there will be stain. But if you clean every day, it will shine like gold. That is the analogy Sri Ramakrishna would give to his disciples. Meditate every day. Some people think, why should I meditate every day? Just try to imagine. I was in a dentist office. A teenage boy was telling his parents, I go to the dentist once a year to clean my teeth. So I shall clean my room also once a year. Just think of that. Once a year I shall clean my room. You must have common sense. Once a week if you clean the room or bathroom, that is all right. But once a week if you clean your body or clean your teeth, that would be awful. I have seen in Himalayan region, Just don't take bath, same clothes on your body, don't eat, don't brush your teeth. It will be hard to talk to you in front. Just imagine. I visited Europe several times. I went to that big Sorbonne, that palace in Vienna. There is no bathroom. 108 rooms are there. All these queens and all this, they have come out and they have some buckets of water. They will go and clean. And most of the time they would hide their body odor by perfume. Swamiji made a joke. In Paris, one woman died from bathtub. Do you know what Swami Vivekananda said? Perhaps this is the first time she came in contact with water in her life. Swamiji said that. So once a week, if you clean your body or clothes or mouth, it is not acceptable. Why we talk this way? You see, mind becomes dirty as body becomes dirty. So how to clean the mind? Meditation. If you clean your mind through meditation, you will get peace, you will get joy. That is my introduction. That is the cartoon I saw in the dentist's office. We shall start chapter 6, verse 20. Krishna was giving various kinds of instructions on meditation to Arjuna. He talked about food. He talked as a lamp in a spot sheltered from the wind does not flicker. Even such has been the simile used for a yogi of subdued mind practicing concentration in the self. That is a beautiful analogy from Indian tradition. The flame of a lamp in a windless place. Jagpradip. In India, when they perform some kind of ritual, there is an ardent big jar. Inside the jar, at the bottom, there is some sand. Over the sand, there is an oil lamp. And they light that lamp, and it does not flicker. Because all sides, air cannot go that way. Only top is open. That when they perform any kind of ritual, they keep that light on. So that is the symbol. That is the way one should meditate. Mind is not flickering. Who makes our mind flicker? Desire. Verse 20. Jatra uparamate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya jatra chaivatmanatmanam paishyanatmani tushyati. When the mind absolutely restrained by the practice of concentration attains quietude, and when seeing the self by the self, one is satisfied in the self. The word niruddham. Niruddham means stopped. How to stop the mind? Try to imagine, Patanjali says that there are 5 stages of the mind. First, kshipta, jumping, restless mind. That mind is full of rajas. You cannot meditate with that mind. Second, mudha, dull, lazy mind, sleepy, that mind is full of tamas. You cannot meditate with that mind. The third big shift, sometimes it is calm, sometimes it is restless. With that is rajas and tamas mixed. You cannot meditate with that mind. Fourth, ekagra, one-pointed mind. That is the very good mind for practicing meditation. In the fifth stage called Puripakko, that is Sattva-guna. When Sattva-guna comes, mind becomes one-pointed. And then comes Niruddha. Niruddha means dense, deep Sattva. At that time, mind becomes very, very steady. Steady, extremely steady, concentrated. That mind has tremendous power. When you go to Niagara Falls, you will see the water is gushing out, running this direction, and then divert it in a big place, and from there they generate hydel power. That water will be scattered, but that force, they produce energy. So yogis see that through the 9 gates of the body, the energy is going out. So they shut, they close the senses, and they focus in one pointed way, and they achieve whatever they want. That is called Sangyama. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Trayamekatra Sangyama. Patanjali says concentration, meditation, and Samadhi. This absorption, these three, if you unite it, that is called Sangyama. You can achieve anything in this world through that power. That is called Niruddha. How can I do that? Yoga Shevaya. Practice this yoga. What is yoga? Patanjali says Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Controlling the thought waves of the mind is called yoga. If I control all thought waves, what will happen? Tada drashtu sharupe avasthanam. At that time you will be established in yourself. You see, these verses, these aphorisms are experimented and verified, and then they are taught. It is a science of the mind. One of the Swami's major remark about Sri Ramakrishna, he never taught anything to the people without practicing thrice. It works. If it works on me, it will work on you. Jatra choiva atmana atmanam pashyan. Seeing self by the self. That is a beautiful word. You can experience the self only through the pure mind. First atmana means pure mind. Self. Atman. Real self. What shall I achieve by practicing to be established in that real self? Tushyati. You will get so much satisfaction, joy, peace. All human beings are seeking this thing, peace, joy, happiness. You see, Tushyati. Tushti pushti kshutpayonughasham, Bhagavatam says. If you practice meditation, what will happen? First comes satisfaction, then comes strength, and third, cessation of misery. Please see this way. You are fasting for 3 days. Somebody brought a plate of food and a glass of water to you. Seeing that food and glass of water, you have satisfaction. Shh, I shall go and eat now. I am really hungry. The moment you start eating food, you get strength, nourishment. You feel strong. And the third stage, cessation of spasm in the stomach. That happens. Why meditation is so important in our day-to-day life? If you want to catch fish, first you will have to set a net. When the fish is under the net, you will not have to make any effort. So in the very beginning, you must work hard. Slowly, slowly you will find mind is coming under control. When this happens, when that happens, and at the same end, Krishna will say, this is going to be the result. So first, Jatru Puravate Chittam, when the chitta, mind becomes inwardly drawn itself by the practice of yoga. When by seeing the self in one's own self, you delight only in the self. That is a beautiful expression. By this withdrawing of the mind from external things, we are not going to some state of emptiness of mind. We are going to the infinite dimension of the divine within. And we find infinite delight in it when that happens. Now Krishna is telling, you see, human beings are very utilitarian. Why? Why should I do it? What shall I gain? If I close my eyes for meditation in the shrine, what shall I achieve? With 1 hour I can make $40 or $50. That is the way people calculate time. Money. I have a neighbor in California. That boy lost job, recently got a job, working 14, 15 hours a day. I do not see him. I don't know what are you doing. Swami, I need some money. I'm a minimum wage, $10. I cannot pay my bills, so I work. Now I said, if few days are all right, I'm doing month after month, it will not work. That happened. Tremendous chest pain, almost collapsed. Money is not the solution. I shall make money. It will kill you if you do not take care of your body and mind. Now there is a saying, you earn money, ruining your health. Then when you retire, use that money to save your health. Sukham attantikam yattad buddhi grajyam atindriyam vetri yatra nachaivayam sthitas chalati tattvataha. When one feels that infinite bliss, which is perceived by the purified intellect and which transcends the senses, and established wherein one never departs from one's real state. Attantikam sukham. Sukham means happiness. Attantikam means unparalleled. Means supreme happiness. Superlative degree. When you are hungry, you eat food. Then you are happy. Again you become hungry and you eat food. This way we move on. We are tired, we sleep. Again we work, we are tired, again we sleep. It is not attantikam. It is just temporary relief of hunger pain and the physical tiredness. It is not attantikam. This happiness, this is momentary. For the time being, I am happy, that's all. Attantikam means final. No more misery. No more pain. Jattad buddhi grajyam atindriyam. This Atman can be understood, can be realized through the pure mind. Sri Ramakrishna says, you know at that time what happens? Bodhe bodha. In Kenu Upanishad, there is a mantra, Pratibodha Viditam. In every thought wave, you feel that I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Every thought wave coming only with that connection, you will be illuminated. That is called Bodhi Bodh. From the bottom of my heart, I can feel it. That is the way we realize the Atman. The scripture says, Abang Manusha Gocharam. This Atman is beyond mind, beyond speech. What kind of mind? Impure mind. But it is one with pure mind. Do you know what Swamiji gave an example? Here is a screen through the window, over the window. And there is a small hole. Through that hole, you can see a part of the forest park. Then you make your hole a little larger. You see more, larger, more, larger, more. Remove the whole screen. You see the whole thing in front of you. That happens in meditation. That veil, this mind, it becomes one with that Atman. So you see inside, outside, both become one. And once you have that experience, it never goes away. I sometimes give this illustration. Perhaps once in your life, you have tasted one particle of sugar. And that experience will stay with you forever. If somebody tells you, how does it taste? Sugar, sweet. That experience will never go away. That is the way Vedanta works. Experience. No faith here. Experience. Direct experience. And that experience cannot be communicated. Sri Ramakrishna told a parable. A young girl was married, went to her husband's home. When she came back, other virgin girls, they're asking this friend who just got married, tell us how much happiness you had from your husband. She cannot express. She only smiled and said, when you will get a husband, at that time you will know. You cannot express. Anubhuti, it cannot be expressed. Samadhi, it cannot be expressed. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Mam mukh chepe dhurese. Mother is pressing my mouth, I cannot speak. He was trying to tell his disciples the experience of Samadhi. He says, I can't. Why? Because it is atindriyam, it is beyond the senses. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna said, everything has been defiled, but not Brahman. Uchishta, that you know, defiled food, everything becomes uchishta, but Brahman cannot be uchishta. You cannot express it. Narada gave another analogy, Mukha Swadanavat. You gave a sumptuous feast to a dumb person and asking, how is my food? He cannot express. Seeing the gesture and posture and the facial expression, you will know that whether that person liked your food or not. Mukha means dumb. Ashadanavat, taste of a dumb person. He cannot express. Similarly, this spiritual experience cannot be expressed. On the TV evangelist, you will hear they shout, God tells me. I sometimes smile. God has nothing to do. God is telling me. We evangelists, they give all the show, you will see on Sunday morning. You will watch. When you have this experience, your mind will not go back to the world. Because the worldly enjoyment, this sensual pleasures become dull, insipid. Sri Ramakrishna saying, Chite good means a liquid jaggery in India. That is very bad odor, not good, you know. And mishri. Mishri means then sugar, then rock candy. So if you have rock candy, you do not like that molasses. But I take grandma's molasses every morning, so I should not criticize it. Or old Swami also used to take grandma's molasses with his milk. So I take grandma's molasses with my cereal. Buddhi Betri Yattad na chaiviyam sthitas chalati tattvataha. Never departs from the real state. Mind becomes glued with God consciousness. As if you have touched 440 volt electricity. Your whole body is electrified. If I try to touch your body, I will be electrified. Just try to imagine that way. Your whole, Otasya Protasya, Upanishad says, your whole being becomes saturated with God consciousness. That is the way Swami Vivekananda defined religion. Religion is being and becoming. Religion means realization. Attantikam Sukham. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Etasya ananda isanyani bhutani matrani matra upajivanti. This is the goal. Esha isya parama gautihi. Esha isya parama loka. This is the supreme abode. Esha isya parama ananda. This is the supreme bliss. Having a particle of bliss from that supreme Brahman, all these human beings are getting joy. Not absolute bliss, just particle of that bliss of Brahman. All the sense enjoyments, all those things you see, very momentarily. It comes from Brahman. The Katha Upanishad says, this Atman is present in all beings, but it is lying hidden. Will it always remain hidden? No, we can discover it. It is seen. How? When the ordinary intellect becomes concentrated, one-pointed, that is the nature of that expression. How do you get it? By training the buddhi, intellect, in dealing with subtle, more subtle, and still more subtle realities. the buddhi, intellect, finally gets the capacity to realize the subtlest reality, the Atman. The subtle intellect is capable of realizing the subtle. The gross body is capable of realizing only the gross things. Shukshmadarshi drishyate. You might ask a question. At that time you say the mind dissolves. If mind is not there, who will experience? You know, Sri Ramakrishna's experience gave a very beautiful image. You drop a pitcher inside a lake or in the ocean. It is an ardent pitcher. It has gone at the bottom. Its inside is water, outside is water. But the pitcher is there. The form did not dissolve. But it's inside, outside, all water. That happens when the mind becomes absorbed in the Atman. This pure mind remains like that. Why does it not dissolve? It dissolves. Do you know what do they call avidya deshat? Jivan mukto, illumined soul. A little bit, perhaps 1 or 2 or 5% ignorance remains. That holds the form. Otherwise, it will be like a salt dog. It will be one with the ocean. This area, this realm cannot be explained through words. Only if you practice, only then only you can experience. Next verse. Yang labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. This is a beautiful verse. Swami Brahmananda quite often used to say, you can practice this verse in your daily life. Having obtained which one regards no other acquisition superior to that, and where established one is not moved even by heavy sorrow. I have achieved the highest. I remember when Swami Vivekananda was in this country, in America, somebody said, Swami, do you like to go for sightseeing? Sightseeing? I do not have to go for sightseeing. I have seen the Himalayas. If you have, I sometimes say, you see, when I go, if you see San Diego Zoo, you will not have to go to see any zoo in this world. If you see the bird sanctuary in Singapore, you will not have to go any place to see bird sanctuary. The best. If you see Louvre Museum in Paris, you will not have to go any other museum. That is the best. That is the best zoo in the world, museum in the world to me. So anyhow, so if you see the best, your mind will not come to achieve lower things. Jang labdhva chapara lavan manyati. A desire to achieve something, acquire something, for something will not come to your mind. I have attained God. I don't need anything else. After God realization, what will happen? You will be free from sorrow forever. There was a disciple of Chaitanya whose name was Haridas Goswami. He was a Muslim, but he used to repeat Krishna's name. So the Muslim ruler became very mad at him. Being a Muslim, you are practicing Hinduism, you must be punished. Give me punishment, whatever punishment you want to give, please give me. But you will be whipped 22 marketplaces, and each place you will get 22 lashes. So this man was taken to 22 marketplaces, and the military or the guards whipped him 22 lashes each place. And he was thinking about God and repeating God's name. And he did not have any consciousness about physical pain. So after 22 places, when he was not dead, these guards became scared. Shh, we are really tortured a holy person. We incurred a sin. So they beg apology and said, we shall do one thing with you. We shall drop you in the river and you go wherever you like. Then we shall tell the king that we did these things. So the king will be relieved and we will be saved. So that is the way Haridas' life was saved, and he ran away and came back to Chaitanya. He did not feel it. Sri Ramakrishna went to visit Jan Bazar, Rani Rashmuni's house. He was in Samadhi. And the priest came and was thinking that Rani Rashmuni and his son-in-law are hypnotized by this priest. So he kicked him and said, tell me, how did you hypnotize my client? Sri Ramakrishna could not talk. Just see, nothing disturbs him. Another time he was sleeping, a chunk of fire fell on his back, skin burnt, flesh burnt, but he had no sensation. This is the result of meditation. You cannot feel it. Do you know why? Your mind is not there. Who registers pain in your body? Mind. I have headache. Who tells you? Your mind. Your body does not register the pain and suffering. It is the mind. So if the mind is not the body, my mind is not in the body, you cannot feel pain, suffering, nothing. That is the way it goes. Dukkham. How many kinds of misery are there in this world? 3 kinds. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidoivika. First, misery comes which is pertaining to the body and the mind. Various kinds of physical disease, mental disease. That is called Adhyatmika. Adibhautika means the misery which comes from other beings. Tiger, lion, bad people. From other sources, misery comes. Third kind of misery, Adidoivika, is supernatural. For example, earthquake, tornado. Recently, so many people died from tornado in our Midwest. We have no control there. People are homeless. Some people are protecting their lives in the bathroom, in the bathtub. The house was blown away. I have seen those photographs, came in the newspaper. Oof, terrible. Tornado. We have no control there. That is called Adidoivika. These 3 kinds of misery come to us. But this person is unperturbed because that person's mind is absorbed in God consciousness. Na gurunapi vichallati. We When Swami Vivekananda used to meditate in Baranagar, in Kashipur, people saw that his body was covered with mosquitoes, just like a black blanket all over his body. But he had no body consciousness. He meditated from evening to morning. How is it possible? And this is the way it is possible. His mind was absorbed in Brahman, in God, not in the body. When you have suffering, misery comes in your life, memorize this verse and repeat. Just mean sthito na dukhe na guru na api vichallate jang labdhva chaparam labam mannate nadikam tata. Just mean sthito na dukhe na guru na api vichallate. You see, this is the way the monks experimented the verses of the Gita in their lives. But how shall I know that I have achieved the highest? Your mind itself will tell you that you have achieved the highest. There is nothing higher than this. Do you know who is the poorest person in this world? Shankara said in his Muni Ratnamala, Ko doridra, jaisa trishna vishala. Who is poor? The person who has many desires. That person is poor. That man is running around to fulfill his desires all the time. That person is poor. He may be a multi-billionaire, doesn't matter. He is poor. And the person who has no desires, he is the richest person in this world. The Swami is going to listen to you. We need money. Next verse. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam sa nishchayna yuktibhu yogo anidvinno chetosa. Let that be known as the state called by the name of yoga, state of severance from the contact with pain. This yoga should be practiced with perseverance, undisturbed by depression of heart. What is yoga? Cessation of misery is yoga. Now he is talking he talked in a positive way. Now he is talking about negative way. Dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam. A state of severance from the contact with pain. This yoga should be practiced with perseverance. Dukkher Vyogi Yoga. Very beautiful. Dukkha. I already told you 3 kinds of misery. The origin of all suffering is ignorance. There are 5 kinds of kleshas, sufferings, according to yoga scriptures of Patanjali. Avidya, asmita, raga, desha, avinivesha. First is avidya, ignorance, mother of all evil. Next, asmita, ego. You do not see Maya, but you see your ego. How do you experience your ego? Tremendous likes and dislikes. I hate you. I love you. Tremendous likes. If you see a person, tremendous likes and dislikes, that person has terrible ego. Avidya, asmita, raga, attachment. Desha, aversion. Ovinivesha, fear of death. These are the 5 afflictions, according to Patanjali. So, these afflictions go away if you practice yoga. All miseries will go away, all afflictions will go away. So, nishchayana yukteddo, nishchayana, definitely you must practice this yoga, taking instructions from your guru and from the scriptures. Anirbinno chetasha. Undisturbed by depression of heart. Some people start meditation, practicing yoga. When they find a little difficulty, they give up. They do not continue. Some people take initiation, they do not practice the spiritual disciplines. We know. You have disease, you go to a doctor. Doctor gave you the medicine. And if you do not take that medicine, you will suffer from the same disease. Same way, if you go to a guru, take spiritual instructions. If you do not follow, what can guru do? But here and there now the disciples will blame the guru. Swami Vivekananda told a beautiful story in Raja Yoga. Stick to it. Never give away. Have a positive approach to your life. Once Narada was going to heaven. A man is a carefree soul moving around. Narada, where are you going? Well, I am going to heaven to see Lord Vishnu. Could you ask him that how long, after how many birth I shall get liberation? Sure. Then he found another yogi was meditating under a tree. Narada, where are you going? I am going to heaven. Could you ask God, Vishnu, that when I shall get liberation? Sure. Narada went to heaven, came back, and this yogi asked, Narada, did you ask that when I shall get liberation? Oh yes, I asked. How long? After 3 births. Oof. After 3 births. He broke down. Then he met the other fellow who was a carefree soul. Narada, did you ask God about my liberation or anything? Well, yes. Well, how long? As you see the tamarind tree, it has millions of small leaves. As many leaves in the tree, after so many births, you will get liberation. That man started to dance out of joy. At least I have some hope. That man began to dance. Immediately God appeared before him and said, here I am. and the other yogi was a heart attack, fell down. This person has patience, perseverance. That is called Anirbinno Chetasha. His heart never shakes, very steady. He doesn't give up. Patanjali's talked about 5 steps of practicing yoga. Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna, Itaresham. Last night I was reading this aphorism, and it is so clear to me I cannot tell you. First, Shraddha. Shraddha means, this word cannot be translated into English. It has sincerity, love, devotion, steadiness, bravery, All these words mixed together made that word Shraddha. Shraddha means utkochicha, meaning intense desire to achieve something. Or a chitte prasad, when a mind has full of contentment. With that contented mind, he starts his spiritual journey. Shraddha. Sometimes I compare Shraddha with the tornado cloud. The dense cloud has so much speed and velocity, it can blow away your home, car. That is called Shraddha. When that person has so intense desire to achieve something, that is called Shraddha. Next, Patanjali says, Birjo. Some people have Shraddha, but they do not have any strength. Strength means here zeal, utsav, enthusiasm. I have got instruction from my guru, good lessons, but I have no zeal. I have no enthusiasm to practice it. You will not be able to make it. Third, smriti. Patanjali says smriti means that you must not forget the lessons, the instructions you got from your guru. You must follow that path. That is called smriti. Think again and again. Sometimes smriti, I give an illustration. Suppose you want to go over the forest park, shortcut. If you walk over the grass once, it will not be hard. But if thousands of people are goes through the shortcut, you will find the grass will die and there will be a walkway. That is called smriti. Again and again. Then there will be deep channel will be constructed in your mind. Smriti. Next, samadhi, ekagrata. Concentrated mind. I remember we had that magnifying glass. In our boy days, sometimes we used to take that magnifying glass and concentrate on, and we will burn the paper. Only sunlight cannot burn the paper. But when the sunlight is concentrated to the magnifying glass, it will burn. Yogis learn these things, how to concentrate the mind. All great achievements comes through this concentrated mind. One-pointed mind. That is called samadhi. Next is jnana, prajna. Prajna means power of discrimination. It discriminates what is right, what is wrong, what is real, what is unreal. Human mind, it is a great thing of human beings, buddhi. No other beings have that faculty. Only human beings can differentiate between good and bad. Animal beings cannot. They are guided by instinct. Human beings are guided by reason. And divine beings are guided by intuition. So, this human being has this faculty, buddhi, vivek. No, I do not want this, I want this. That buddhi, what does the buddhi do? Patanjali says it differentiates between Purusha and Prakriti, matter and the spirit, God and Maya. I want Purusha, I want the self, not Prakriti, Maya. This buddhi differentiates. Then your mind will be stuck in that self, in the Atman. That will bring samadhi. Let it take 100 years. What does it matter? Let me do something worthwhile. Let me continue this wonderful search for my own true nature, my own true dimension. What is that dimension? What is that profound mystery? Let me try to understand it. This is the method by which we try to understand the truth You found this type of determination, facing all privation and even death during the early 19th century gold rush to the western part of America. So here is just a couple of verses dealing with this subject. We can achieve yoga when we work hard for it. Remember that it is not a dogma or creed. That is why in India we scientifically analyze the whole world of religion. There are two classifications of religion. One is the ethnical classification based on dogma and creed. The other one is scientific classification. Ethnical is Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. The scientific classification gives us Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga. This is called the scientific classification. Here Gita deals with the scientific classification of religions, cutting across all these ethnical differences and limitations. And therefore, this yoga must be assiduously followed and some results gained by this very life. That is a beautiful comment about yoga. So, up to this today. Matma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Antaratma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Paramatma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May my body become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my mind become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my soul become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 my Lord.